The truth with Zepbound weight loss. Hi, beautiful friends. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I've lost over 108 pounds on Zepbound. I've been on GLP-1 medication the last 2+ years, over 115 plus Mounjaro, Zepbound, and Tirzepatide compound injections. The combination of those is because of the shortage. And on today's episode, I want to talk factual. I want to talk truth. I want to deep dive into Zepbound weight gain and what you need to know. And on today's episode, by the end of it, you're going to be able to walk away with 5 pieces of information that are going to help you on your Zepbound weight loss journey, whether you're just starting or you're one of my OGs who's been on Zepbound for a hot second. Let's go ahead and dive in. First and foremost, I want to dispel the myth that Zepbound weight gain is not normal, because Zepbound weight gain is normal. If you have had Zepbound weight gain, my friends, I'm here to say survey says normal. It's totally normal. And I get asked frequently, have I had Zepbound gain? Heck yeah. We know because of the data, and we're going to be factually accurate, but the Tirzepatide data that we have is that there is a setting point with weight. After 72 weeks of being on Tirzepatide, there is this like set point that happens. And so that's where I have been on for more than 72 weeks. I've been on for over 2+ years now on my Zepbound journey. And so the setting point is slightly different than what I'm referring to today. I'm actually referring to, you get on your scale and you weigh yourself and you're like, oh, I'm clutching my pearls, honey. My scale goes up. That is totally normal. It's totally normal. And the reason why it's totally normal, and then we're going to kind of go down another rabbit hole with that, but it's totally normal for a couple of things. One, it could literally be for ladies that time of month with hormones. 2, it could be your clothing. Like if you're not weighing yourself naked, be careful if you're taking pictures from my free encouragement group, which I will link down below. But if you're taking pictures from my free encouragement group, that the reflection on your scale, and if you are naked, it's not showing up on that scale. Just saying. Your scale could be different. Like if you're weighing on a different kind of scale, that can also change, like your scale versus your doctor's office scale, for example. That can totally change it. Different times of day. Literally, if you went from weighing at nighttime versus in the morning, my kid was weighing himself last night and he's like, oh my gosh, I've gained some weight. And I said, we were talking about like he's almost 10, and so he's gaining a lot of muscle. He's growing. He's a growing boy. And he's like, I was like, oh my gosh, it's because you're weighing at nighttime. Having that, for me, the consistency of weighing first thing in the morning after I use the restroom, so it's even Steven, it's consistent. We're taking away all these other variables. But one of the other biggest variables that can affect weight gain, and this is so crass, but it's true. So forgive my crassness. Can we have that promise, pinky promise in advance that I have forgiven me for being crass? But honey, it's your poop. You poop. We're one poop away from hitting your goal weight. I kid, but it's true. Literally, if you had your bowel movements, can affect that. That very much can affect, and we're going to deep dive in more into poop here in a minute, but that can very much affect this perceived weight gain. What I would encourage you is to keep the mindset, and here's where I think the bigger cause, the bigger root for me, and I'm not medical at all. None of this is medical, simply my experience, strength, and hope. Always talk to your own healthcare provider. But from somebody who's gone from morbidly obese to like lifting now and doing a lot of really cool stuff with making permanent lifestyle changes, one of the biggest things I want to encourage you is having the mindset of not letting the scale dictate my day. That has been huge for me. But now I can daily weigh and it really doesn't affect me. I like daily weighing. I want to encourage you to do what makes the best sense for you. If that's once a week, if that's once a month. I have a friend who doesn't really weigh. They may weigh like once every 3 months. For me, I like the daily accountability to myself. But I also know on the back end, it's not going to rock my day. It's not going to rock 'em sock on my day if it goes up and down, because it does. It does. It does. It does. It does. I feel like I'm Dorothy. It does. It does. It does. It does. It does. The wonderful thing that Zepbound does. So it does. If we just go in knowing that, but if you do not have the emotional management, and I'm saying this with grace, kindness, love, and compassion, but the emotional management to not let those fluctuations rock your world, then don't do it. And you know yourself better than anybody else, even some lady on the internet named Countess of Shopping. You know best. But what I want to encourage you is having other safety nets in place to make sure that you're being the best version of yourself that you want to be on your health goals. So is that using Instead, which I always recommend, and it's linked down below. I will link, by the way, everything I'm talking about will be linked in the description link below. My smart tape measure. Taking photos is another method of tracking, which is a great method. That's one of the ones I utilize typically on a given day, not every day, but most days I'm taking pictures because I can see in the pictures with my face and my body a dramatic change and a dramatic difference. And it's so helpful for me to go back over these before and after pictures and be like, wow, I am a different person. Like that overweight, 300+ pound morbidly obese woman is not who I am today. This is who I am, is this woman who's lifting and doing really cool stuff. So pictures, clothing, changing in clothing. I had y'all that same pink shirt. It's huge on me now. And the pants I used to wear are huge on me now. Literally the picture that I have on countessofshopping.com and over in my free encouragement group, countessofshopping.com/group, totally free. The pants that I have in that picture of like, that is an excellent reminder to me with weight loss on weight gain of Zepbound. And so with going back to this poop thing, dang it, right turn over there, is constipation, Zepbound constipation is so prevalent for people. It tells us, Eli Lilly tells us in the literature, we're going to have probably 4 most common gastrointestinal ones: diarrhea, constipation, nausea, vomiting. So if you're having constipation, I want to really encourage you, and regardless if you're having constipation or not, but one of the best things I did 2+ years ago was switch over to BIOptimizers Magnesium Breakthrough. I think it was 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure. Because it has 7 types of magnesium, I don't have a constipation problem. I take 2 to 3 of these pills at nighttime. It helps with my Zepbound sleep, which is one of the most important things. And second most important thing is it helps with me with Zepbound constipation. Many of you have also continued to use BIOptimizers Magnesium Breakthrough because it helps so much with bowel movements and sleep and muscle recovery. Slightly for me is my anxiety, but really not that much. More so it's the poop aspect. Just keeping it cut and dry here. The poop aspect and the sleep are like my 2 top pillars, and muscle recovery too. With lifting so much now, having that muscle recovery is super important for me, but really that poop, it does make a difference, a big time. And so because it has 7 types of magnesium, and did you know that more than 70% of people are magnesium deficient? I want to encourage you, before taking any supplements, always talk to your own healthcare provider about them. But for me, my healthcare provider was like, heck yeah, you need to be on this. Like last Friday, you needed to start. And so down in the description link below, I have an Amazon link. Make sure you're going to the right place on Amazon because there are some bad actors, but you can use that Amazon link and the discount code Countess, COUNTESS. When you get to the Amazon coupon or Amazon promo at the very end of checkout, I have negotiated for you an extra discount on Amazon. Now, if it happens to be on sale or things like that, that code is not, that you can't double dip, but you go run today to go get that. Use that one. And that code, by the way, is for most BIOptimizers products, I believe. I'm pretty sure, like the digestive enzymes I always talk about, it works with that. But having with BIOptimizers Magnesium Breakthrough for me in the morning, that, I mean, really, if we're besties now, if I'm talking about poop on the internet, but literally it has made such a big difference. And I get asked so much about people having constipation. And part of that, I'm like, are you having fruits and vegetables? Like leafy green fruits and vegetables? Are you? Because a lot of people aren't. They're like, oh, I'm just having all protein bars. Well, maybe you want to put in some fiber, babes. The dietitian that I interviewed told me I needed to have 25 to 30 grams of fiber per day. Do I hit that every day? No. Do I hit my protein goals every day? No. Do I hit my calorie goals every day? No. But that is the target in which I'm shooting for. Some days it's more, some days it's less, but that's the target in which I'm shooting for fiber with that constipation, because again, poop can play such a big role in weight gain. It's erroneous. When people tell me they're having weight gain, I'm like, I want to DM them, but I don't want to be like, have you pooped recently? I feel like I'm a mom. When I was a toddler, all I did was talk about my kids' poops. And now I feel like with Zepbound, I talk about poop so much. And it makes me chuckle and laugh because I'm not medical at all. But it's true. It can affect that scale so much. And I know, getting real here, like fully authentic and honest, I know from my morbid obesity background, that scale used to dictate, and still, if I allow it, would dictate, but I don't allow it anymore, my mood and my really my perspective with food for that day, or the food choices I'm going to eat, used to be driven off that scale. It doesn't have that power in me anymore because I've done a lot of intensive therapy. I feel like I talk about therapy quite a bit. There's no shame in that game of having a really good therapist if you come from the background I come from, which is morbid obesity was such a painful experience and a juggernaut on my life. Having been on a diet since elementary school, but being super successful in every other single aspect of my life except for this weight thing, I've been on every single diet. I've tried everything until Zepbound. And now I'm able to apply those principles that I've learned, but it literally realizing and taking that I need a GLP-1 and a GIP-1 to help me. Those two itty bitty little hormone receptors, how much a big difference helps. The other thing that I think is incredibly important about weight gain with Zepbound is that it's going to fluctuate, but as long as the trend is continuing to go down, that's the important thing, right? And for me, I have been stuck at this weight plateau, and I've talked very openly and honestly about this, so don't use that as a weapon against me for talking about it openly and honestly. But it's because I've lost a pound, and it's been very slow here in the past few months. It's not because I'm not working out, because I am. I'm lifting. It's not because I'm not eating healthy, because I am. I have refined my health habits. And that's one of the biggest things I want to encourage you is if you're on and the scale is continuing to trend down, but there is that 72-week set point. All of the data tells us that of where we're going to hit that set point with Tirzepatide, which we lump in. It's the active ingredient in Zepbound and Mounjaro, but the compound people call it Tirzepatide. Some compound people call it that. So I'm making sure I'm using all of that vernacular, all of those words. It's the same thing. The compound is different than those, but Mounjaro and Zepbound are the same thing, just different FDA approvals. So with that, having on there that there's the set point at 72 weeks. And so if you're experiencing that, just knowing, babes, I used to go to this place of this bad mindset place of something's wrong with me. I'm defective. No, babes, I'm not broken. I'm not defective. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm a pro bot at great price. And so are you. That's what the data tells us. Scientifically, that is where this like hitting point is. And so it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder for me. And so I am on the highest, to give context, highest brand name dose that there is. There's nothing else on the market right now. Until we see Calorie Sema come out or Tirzepatide, the brand names, I'm not talking about off-label stuff, I'm talking about brand name stuff. And so that's one perspective of this, but also the other perspective is people get off these medications. A lot of people actually do. If you think about it, and I'm forgetting off the top of my head the stat, but I did a whole video on it, of people who are not on GLP-1 medication 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. We don't know 5 years from now from Zepbound or Mounjaro because it hasn't been out that long, but I was one of the OGs on Mounjaro. People who used to make fun of me are now on the medication, which is interesting. 3 snaps in a Z formation. My, honey, how tides have turned. Now you're on the medication, but you used to make fun of me, and you watch my videos, but you used to make fun of me. I see you, but I still love you. I really do. I really do love you. So 70% of people gain weight once they stop taking this medication. 70%. That's not great. As a businesswoman, I wouldn't invest in that business. I'm like, ooh, 70% of quote failure of like regaining. That's not so good. And so what I want to encourage with this is making sustainable, lifelong habits. And Eli Lilly tells us in the literature, those 2 habits we need to focus in on is one is with food and the other is with exercise. And specifically with that, I would encourage muscle mass loss doing lifting. I could not lift though. I could not focus in on exercise until after my first year. The first year was literally focusing on, okay, I'm full, put my fork down. Oh, that's what full feels like. Put my fork down. Okay, I'm hungry. What do I do when I feel hungry? Am I going to go binge eat my brains out? No, I'm going to have a small, sensible meal. It's focusing on high protein and high nutrients with fruits and vegetables. Like just learning those, not just because that's a diminishing word, learning those foundational principles for me has been huge that I will carry with me for the rest of my life. But I couldn't do those principles until I helped fix the dam and the hole in the dam, so to speak, with GLP-1 and GIP receptors. I needed that, like Zepbound. I couldn't do the things that I knew I needed to do that normal people do, and normal's a dishwasher setting. Normal people can do those. But that doesn't mean anything's wrong with me. That's how I'm genetically made. But literally, I can look at my family tree and I'm like, oh, yeah, my grandmother who was morbidly obese, who had so many health complications because of her obesity. And I think, gosh, what a miracle it is I'm on this medication. She didn't have the opportunity to have the opportunity I have now. And so I'm going to really focus in on these sustainable lifelong changes. I'm also going to recognize, logically speaking, that weight gain is going to happen. I'm going to logically recognize that there is at that 72-week mark, we're going to hit it. I was telling my husband today, I said, gosh, I wish I had known about the 72-week mark when I first started. I probably would have worked a little bit harder to get to where I am. And he's like, you're going to make me cry. He said, that version of you over 2 years ago would have given so much to have lost over 100 pounds. And it's true. The fact that I'm not quite where I want to be, I'm giving myself grace, kindness, love, and compassion. But oh my gosh, how far I've come. Like, if you had told me 2+ years ago I would be doing this often, 3 times a week, like, and walking, I wouldn't have believed you. I didn't think I could do it. I really thought I was going to die a miserable death from morbid obesity, that this was like my lot in life, and that my kid, who's 9.5, almost 10, that he's gonna have his mom not around. I'm like, am I gonna make it till his 18th birthday? Am I gonna make it to his high school graduation? I don't know if I'm gonna make it to his wedding and to grandbabies and things like that. Like, I just don't know. And it made me really sad having those thoughts, but I wanted to be honest with myself and like realistic and coming to terms with that, so to speak. And now the fact that I have this whole new lease on life where I can overput concealer on. Why is my concealer so bright? It's driving me crazy. My makeup's different today than when I tried something new and I'm not really liking it. We gotta laugh. If we don't laugh, I'm gonna cry. But really and truly, how much my life has changed. And my husband reminded me, and I appreciate him so much, my hot husband, the Count. Him reminding me and saying, and so I'm saying this to remind you too, because maybe you need this reminder like I did earlier today, of my old self would have given my right arm, basically, not literally, but kind of, to lose over 100 pounds. And to now experience what my body, to feel like what my body feels like with having lost 100 pounds, and how I can do all these things like ride a roller coaster, buckle a safety belt on an airplane without needing an airplane extender. We're going to go ride a bunch of roller coasters this summer. I went to horse camp. I'm getting ready to go to horse camp again here in like another week and a half. Doing all of these things, I never thought I'd be able to do. I literally had thought, okay, I'm just going to be over 300 pounds and maybe get up to like 350. Please, Lord, don't let me get to 400, but that may be my lot. Like, and that scared the dickens out of me. Like, I can't stop this train from going. This train just keeps going and going, and I keep gaining more and more weight. And so now being able to have a reprieve, and I want to share this with you, of keep going. Keep going. If you've had the weight gain for part of it, it may be also because you're off the medication. And also I want to tell you, with love, grace, kindness, and compassion, and so much love behind this, of data-wise, that's what the data tells us that most people experience. 70% of people do. And that if you are having weight gain, to talk to your healthcare provider. And also, if you're not where you want to be, is it simply a matter, because a lot of times it's just simply, and I don't mean to make it sound that basic, but literally it's that. It's just simply you may need to titrate up dose. Now, someone had left a comment. I meant to pop it up here on the screen, so forgive me that I don't have it to pop up right now. Normally I'd be like, boop, there's the comment. But someone had commented basically, and I'm paraphrasing, they're like, I'm at Zepbound 12.5 milligrams. My doctor won't let me get to Zepbound 15 milligrams. I've been stuck. And she goes, but I'm stuck because, this also is going to make me cry, because I'm trying to work on making permanent lifestyle changes. And I was so proud of this commenter. So if this was you, I am sending you so much love. Gosh, I'm emotional today. She was saying about how she's staying at this because she really wants to get underneath her belt, figuratively and literally, some of these lifestyle changes with food. And she's like, I know I need to work out. I know that needs to be part of this, but really I'm trying so hard to really make permanent lifestyle changes with my food. And I said, amen, sister. You go, girl. You go, girl. Because that, my friends, that is the victory. That is the victory. It maybe You and your healthcare provider know best. You know your medical conditions best. You know, like, that's betwixt you and your healthcare provider. Sincerely. And they have like your blood panels and things like that. I love that her healthcare provider's like working on your sustainability of like changes, lifestyle changes to make this sustainable and to make it long-term. But it takes repetition, it takes practice. And so if you're in the middle of this refinement season, is what I'm calling mine right now, we're in refinement season of I am refining, and I've learned so much, and I still feel like I do have some to learn and to go to, but I'm so much further along. Even back in January when we're 5 months through the year as the time I'm filming this. I am so much further. I'm not further where I want to be with my weight loss, but I'm further in terms of a healthier version of me. And so I want to encourage you, if you've made it this far in the video, you're working on yourself. You're doing great things for yourself, and you're going to continue to learn and build. And what we do is we evidence stack, keep stacking those bricks, because those bricks, my friends, are going to prove to you that you're able to do these things. I didn't start lifting. It took me the lifting component. I started with wall Pilates and then going to actual classes for Pilates. And then it, like, see, this is evidence stacking, that I could do each one of those. And then it was to lifting with a lifting coach. And then from a lifting coach, now I do lifting videos. And so same thing with food. Like it takes evidence stacking. So one step at a time. Some people go quickly, some people go slowly. Keep going. Keep going. And if you're of a certain philosophy that I subscribe to, it will always materialize if we work for them, is the next line of that. So it will always materialize if we work for it. It will. It will. I don't know the timeline though. And if you have weight gain on it, more often than not, it's a poop away, or it's an increasing dosage component of it, or it's your healthcare providers wanting you to learn some of these lessons that we need to learn. Real talk. Sometimes the healthcare, like literally when this person commented that, I'm like, amen to their healthcare provider for forcing them in a boundary protected way to work on these lifestyle changes. Because some people, and I hear a lot, and I don't really like saying this narrative because I feel like it's not true a lot of the time. People are like, oh, they just take it and then they lose all this weight, but they're not working on the lifestyle changes. I'm like, okay, but you don't know that. Like I always scratch my head when people say that. I'm like, you don't know. Coming from a morbid obese background, I don't think most people are like that. I'm going to lean into most people aren't like that. Probably some are. And maybe if that's you on here, who am I to judge you either? Like, I'm really sincerely not, like, the person who said that was judging. I'm not judging. Like, you do you. You, like, our journeys are different, and obesity is a wide hoop. It is a very large spectrum. And so the solutions are all not going to be the same. And also, we're finding out more and more and more about microdosing and things like that. So there's a lot. There's people of all the different things that, Tirzepatide and SEMAGLUTIDE and other GLP-1s are getting tested for, besides just obesity and besides type 2 diabetes. We now have sleep apnea in the chat. We have heart disease in the chat, cardiovascular events, strokes, Parkinson's disease is in the chat, Alzheimer's is in the chat, dementia is in the chat. Like, we've got a lot, and there's a lot more that's coming. So anyways, I'm super excited about all this. If it is an issue, also talking to your healthcare provider about increasing the dose, which I have other videos on too. If you've not clicked that like and subscribe button, I want to make sure you do, and share this video with your GLP-1 bestie. If you don't know how to get to all of the links I talked about, just click that more button and then click the more button again here on YouTube. YouTube's made it slightly difficult to get to my shopping links, which is fine. That's fine. But I want to make sure if you want to get BIOptimizers Magnesium Breakthrough, use the discount code Countess. And then also specifically the link on Amazon, which is down below, to make sure you're going to the right place. Use my link as well. And your accountability question, what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? And your emoji of the day. Your emoji of the day. I feel like I've had so many emojis of the day that have popped up that I've been thinking about, but your emoji of the day is going to be a hat. It's going to be a hat. And people are like, why? Emojis of the day. I do emojis of the day because I sincerely care about you, and the pattern recognition of something easy and quick helps me to get to know you better because I care. And that's how literally I can tell who is the Countess of Shopping community members. We have so many in our community. YouTube has pieced these together. I have not pieced these together. YouTube has, but Mindy, Virginia, Deanne, Amy, Marcy, or Marcied, Rebecca, Maylee, Sarah, Angie, Daba, Jean, Martha, Thelma, Pamela, Dawn, Susan, Rachel, Michelle, Charlotte, Mary Beth, Candy, Sue, Tracy, Amy, Alicia, Tammy, Peter, Karma, Michelle, Kelly, Stormy, Chelsea, Blue Rose, Alice, Brenda, Ashton, Robin, Lisa, Marjorie, Lisa, and Rachel. Those are all from YouTube. Literally emojis of the day and things like that. So make sure you put the emoji of the day in your accountability question. What are you doing today to move you closer to your goal? And number 3 is, if you've not joined our beta group, we have a challenge this week currently. Now, by the time you see this video, the challenge is going to be different. But right now in my private group, which I moved off Facebook because Facebook has been closing GLP-1 groups, and mine got shut down. And I'll tell you what, I work on that group 15 to 20 hours a week, the accountant I do. And I'm not going to have my group shut down. It was shut down once, and they keep trying to shut GLP-1s down for no reason. In my opinion, it's no reason. So we have built our own on our own platform that I own and the account owns. So no one can shut it down. And it's free. It's my gift to the Countess of Shopping community. We've invested over $1,000 of our own money into it. By the end of the year, we'll have invested over $5,000 of our own money into that free group. So go make sure you sign up on countessofshopping.com/group. The group is awesome. We have a challenge going on right now for tracking food and also weight training and also healthy habits. It's a whole, like, for the challenge that's happening right now. You can see the past challenges, by the way. It's really cool. There's discussion. I'll be doing live streams in there and more challenges too. It's an amazing group. It's an amazing group, and everyone who's been in it so far has really been very complimentary of how much they enjoy it so much more than Facebook. So just log into that, and you can log in multiple times today. A lot of people are logging in at like morning, lunch, evening, just to kind of get that extra like mindset shift. It's like, what, literally, mindset is so important on the weight loss journey. So my sweet friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings, because life is delicious. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. I'll see you tomorrow. Love ya. Bye, guys.